How you doing, everyone? Just want to give a little history for one of my students about house dance and house culture and the music. I was explaining to him that the music itself is native to Chicago, the Chicago think tank, and there were a lot of New York DJs as well, a couple of New York DJs as well with Chicago DJs that helped the process of creating the music, drawing different elements of different types of music to create the sound, and mixing these different sounds into one particular sound and creating what's called house music. The term house itself, in terms of house dance or house music or house culture, comes from warehouse. The music that they listened to was only played in a specific place, and that was a warehouse where they did parties called the warehouse. Then later on was a warehouse in New York as well, and the Paradise Garage in New York as well. But this is the origins of the music in terms of its growth and its evolution. And the dance itself is native to New York in terms of its popularity, house dance. The New York underground dancers were responsible for spreading it around the world, dance fusion specifically. A lot of other people as well, Elite Force, and a lot of names that aren't around anymore that have definitely had a lot to do with spreading and perpetuating the knowledge of bringing the message of freedom from house music and house dance culture. The dance itself is just like the music, has a lot of different elements from a lot of different styles and a lot of different rhythms because of our Afro-diasporic culture. You know, we have a lot of different Caribbean dance rhythms and rhythmic steps: cha-cha, mambo, samba, of course, bachata, rumba, salsa, merengue. All these rhythms and all these steps are also united within the house dance, popular house dance style. Hip-hop, social dance, rocking from b-boying, oh my god, you know, voguing is also considered a house style. Voguing and whacking is also considered a house style because a lot of those voguers and whackers were in the house clubs, getting down to the music. There's a style now being coined as lofting. My elders told me that, you know, the terminologies that they used were hitting the deck. We call that dolphin now, diving. They called it hit the deck. And whenever they did moves, they bust moves. They called it busting moves. So these were their terminologies in the 70s and early 80s of the what we call the beginning of what we know as the beginning and the root of our house dance. Well, we're connected to the house dance culture. And then my generation brought the influences of what we were being influenced by, the popping, locking, and breaking, and hip-hop, and hip-hop social dances, and fused just from going to those underground clubs and being around the older generation, naturally and organically and socially, these different movement expressions kind of became one form of expression. They organically united themselves, you know, connected themselves. So the house dance style you see is a product of a lot of underground evolution, a lot of long, sweaty, hardcore nights of just getting down and socializing on a dance level with everyone and everyone. So house, meaning everything under one house, that's the culture. So that's probably the best way I can explain it in such a quick format. But when I come to teach in Hong Kong soon, hopefully by next year, we can sit and talk more and discuss it in more detail. Thanks a lot to Tom for interviewing. What's up, Tom? Peace out. All right. All right. Sekou out. Peace.
Peace.